Hey, what's up? I'm K.Bossier. This semester, spring of 2017, I was lucky enough to intern for the men's basketball team here at St. Mary's. So a lot of what I did had to do with the video production, and we'd meet in a room like this and all watch film. We'd watch film of opponents, we'd watch film of ourselves, we'd also watch film of teams' playbooks and kind of game plan. So throughout this video that I'm about to show you guys, I'm going to take you through what I do on a daily basis with that video production, and also how I've met the learning outcomes for the internship program, which were to develop pick and roll play, get better post-up play, and also work on an entire offensive system. So I hope you enjoy the video, and we'll take you through what my experience is like. Thanks.
Let's take a tour of the internship site. We're just going to kind of blast through McKeon Gymnasium. Here is where we play our home games, also where our offices are staffed. What's kind of cool is this little walkway down to our offices. It's just got kind of some of the all-time great players, the great seasons we had over on the right. And it just kind of sets the tone and shares our culture with all of our visitors. Here's our main office. All the coaches have certain rooms. This is where my desk is, tucked into the corner over here. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of break down some key components of this workstation. First thing, it's really important to stay organized just to make sure we get all the games downloaded. Here we have some calendars with all of our opponents and when they play, just so I can stay on top of downloading all the games and getting those to the coaching staff. I have a checklist of just kind of what our goals are, which I'll go over later in the video, how to keep things organized. And also, game day is a big, important thing, doing the filming correctly for that. So wrote out kind of a script to make sure that goes well, and little side projects there as well. Certainly the most important task that I have in any given day is acquiring opponent game film and getting it to the coaching staff. So the first thing I do when I get to the office, I check my calendar, see what games I need to download for the day, and I'll use a application we have on this computer here called Synergy Video Express. Most games you can find on here for most teams. If you can't find it on this database, you got to start emailing around and kind of talk to other coaching staffs and just see if they have a copy that they can email you or possibly send a DVD. But most of the games are on here, and it's a little tricky. The games will be downloaded into various formats. They don't always work with all of the coaches' different computers. So you kind of got to be good at problem solving and stitching videos together, getting them in the right format, and making sure they're going to work for the coaches. So in this scenario, I downloaded a Gonzaga film, and what I might do is put it on one of these laces here and deliver it to a coach. If they're not in the office, just drop it on the desk and then maybe check back later to make sure they got them. In other cases, I might go in and actually put the games on myself. The next step in the process is starting to build the film that we're going to show the team. So the coaches are going to kind of be watching the films that we gave them and getting a feel for what the teams are doing, what their plays are, what their style of play is. And while they're doing that, I'm going to be kind of thinking ahead to the video and doing some preparation work myself. So right here on the screen, you can see I'm pulling some clips from Gonzaga. These are clips from their game against University of San Francisco, dropping it into this Synergy video editor that I use. And from here, I can kind of go through the film and get a feel for what a team's doing, what plays they're running, and just start to get myself organized for when the coach comes to me and says, okay, Kyle, we want to show this clip or this play or that play. I'll kind of have an idea of what he's talking about and be more or less prepared to get that together. So we go with the last 5 games for each opponent. So what I will do, if I was doing a full edit, I would dump probably all 5 games in, which would be about 300 offensive clips, 300 defense clips. In this scenario, I'm just doing a few clips here just to show you guys. But you just kind of start going through and tag the plays, just kind of what actions you're seeing and what plays they're running, so that you can just kind of be organized and have a database ready to go. So eventually, over time, you get to a point where you have a database, and then you'll send it to the local machine, which I'm doing right here. And then you'll kind of meet with the coach and get a feel for what they're looking for or what he's looking for and what he wants to show the team. And then you'll create a playbook kind of like this. So it'll just be a bunch of raw clips there, and then you'll work with the coach and kind of get organized and put it into a database that looks like this. So this is something we might show a team, what they do, what the opponent does in early offense, their motion, and then various plays and sets that they run. What's really cool for me is this is a great way to learn about opponent offenses, what plays work, what plays don't work, kind of get a chance to interact with the coaches and check out their expertise on what they like and what other opponents are doing. So once the playbook's set, then we have to do the personnel. Probably the most important thing to show the players because they kind of want to get a feel for who they're guarding. So we'll create an edit like this where a player can kind of watch, who they're going to be defending, what their tendencies are, what it kind of looks like when they're out on the court. So once again, just kind of take a note of what works for players, what's easy to guard, what's hard to guard. Definitely a huge learning advantage for myself and something I try to apply to my coaching. Okay, so that's basically what I do in a given week, and that takes up a lot of time. All of that will get whittled down into about a 10-minute video that we'll show the team. We'll show that to them the day before a game, and they'll go out and practice and work on it. Here are some of the little special projects that I like to work on and how they help with my learning outcomes. I really like watching professional players or players that I like at any level and just kind of making edits and kind of collecting what they do well. And then what I'll do is share them with the players so they can kind of use it to improve or to get better. So what you just saw there was some examples of Dirk. He's a taller player. We have a lot of taller players on our team, so I like to share that with them. And what I do is I created this Google Drive folder that I have shared with the whole team. And any player can go into this folder and they can find their own name under here. Let's use Jock for an example, Jock Perry, who we call Pez. And he can go in here and he can watch various professional players similar to his game that I put into the folder. He kind of resembles Powell, so I put some edits together for him. This is Powell working on the left block. So he can kind of come in here and just get a feel for what that player is doing. And then after he watches that, he can go back and watch any given practice. So I'll put like a little 1 or 2 minute edit together from practice, and I'll put it up here on the drive. And so he can go through and then watch how he did that day in practice. You can see here he got pushed way too far out onto the perimeter. Wasn't able to find a passing angle. So hopefully he could sit down with a coach and possibly learn from that experience on video. So Jock was redshirting this year, and so something like this I feel like is a good tool for him because he's not getting reps in the games. But to use an example for someone who plays a lot of minutes, we can take a look at, say, Joe Rayhan's folder. So for Joe, he's going to have every game he played as well as practice in this folder with vari edits. So he can go, let's say we pick the Santa Clara game. He can take a look at all the plays he made, good or bad. Here's an example of him on a high ball screen. So he can evaluate that about an hour or so after the game. So when I can have these up. And then he's also got some players that he likes, Nash or whatever, where he can model his game and watch them in similar actions. So here's Nash on a high ball screen. And he can kind of compare his own game to them or just learn it in any way he would like. So what's cool about this is it's not only good for Joe's development and it's helping him, but it's also good for me because I get to spend some time watching these professionals, taking mental notes on how they perform, what they do well, and how I can, in the future, help coach guys better. So for some other players, they really enjoy the video, and so I might put something up together like this. One of our redshirt freshmen is trying to work on his change of speed stuff. So here's a clips of a guy in the D-League who's really good at it. We've got a bunch of other stuff here. He's trying to improve his ball screens. He's a bigger player, so Westbrook, you can watch how he goes over screens, handle hedges, trails, sideline coverage, or whatever else. We also got on here how we execute. It's his first year in the program. So he's still kind of getting acclimated to how we do things. And here's a little video guiding him on how we handle certain coverages or execute against certain things he sees. So once again, this is great for me putting this together and kind of picking the coach's brains and what would be good, what we're looking for. So I get to learn, and then I get to pass that knowledge on to Elijah or any other player as well. So in the process of doing those videos and everything like that, I learn a lot and related to my learning outcomes. Also, settings like this where players are doing shooting and stuff is a great opportunity for me to not only take notes of what's being worked on, but also, talk to the coaches and just kind of pick their brains, really have an open mind and just see what I can learn because I'm really fortunate to be around some really bright coaches with a lot of experience. So I just do as much as I can to try to learn from them. Pick and roll play, post-up play, offense, and I take a lot of notes and learn a lot. Okay, so that concludes my video about this internship. Just kind of gave an overview of what my daily tasks are, primarily handling film and putting together a video for the staff and for the players. First, film of what our opponents are doing so they can kind of prepare themselves for game day, and also film for our players to see themselves play, improve, get better individually as well, whether it's watching their own clips or watching professional players or whatever else. Through that whole process, I take a lot of time to make notes of myself, for myself, what works, what I like, what I don't like. I also spend a lot of time picking the coaches' brains and trying to use their experience to develop my own coaching skills. While I'm not allowed to coach in this role, I'm excited to take what I've learned and apply it to future coaching roles and my ultimate objective, which is to be a head coach. So I'm really fortunate to be here in this great program, and hope you liked my video.